Okay, guys, good morning to all of you. Can you hear me loud and clear? If yes, give me a thumbs up. All right, if you can hear me loud and clear, give me a thumbs up so that I can know that you guys are around. Okay, everybody, can you hear me? Yes, good. All right, morning to all of you. Let me just give me a moment. I'm trying to get some last minute stuff into it. Yeah. All right, morning to you, Alex. Morning to you, Jerry, Evas, Nelson, Ian, sorry. Morning to you once again. All right. Okay, Warner. Jun, you want us to play for you here? You want? Okay. Yeah. Just give me a minute. Okay. All right. Once again, good morning to all of you. Let's start our morning MAO right now. Let me just share to all my friends around me. And of course, you can do me a favor. You can also share this with your friends around you. All right, let them know that there's this guy giving out some market calls today, and they may be able to benefit from it. Okay. So tell. Okay, done. All right, once again, good morning to you. Let's just start our morning MAO right now. Let me just get my stuff all ready. Okay. There we go. Share screen. Go. Okay, right. Today is the 13th of June, 2022, Monday, a fresh start again. Now, the entire weekend, I was pretty busy with my family members as a state of vacation at Pan Pacific Hotel. We got some discount, so we went there. Pretty nice place. All right, but more important is that last night, I actually spent some time to speak to some people, in fact, 104 of them, regarding my view of the market. All right, so today's topic got a little bit of the sharing content that I'll forward today, okay? But nonetheless, it's all right. You can see from my collage, right? You can see that today we'll be emphasizing on what Jerome Powell might be saying this coming Thursday morning at about 2:30 a.m. Singapore time. That is the FOMC meeting, okay? That is the FOMC meeting, all right? Very important. And of course, we have the crude oil, all right? The crude oil had just tested 121, and I told you not to chase. And if you have listened to me, good, because the price has came down. But of course, if you didn't listen and you went to buy, then probably you're getting a bit upset right now. But rest assured, okay, in a way, I can't guarantee you this, but I'm quite sure that the crude oil later will recover and go up again later or now. Okay, so you can see that being a trader, you need to time your entry. All right, you just cannot just see what the market is doing and just buy recklessly. I think that's very, very, very dangerous. Okay, very. So as a trader, very important thing is that you have to make your position and stand pretty clear so that you won't make the same mistake over and over again. Okay. All right, so with all this important information right now, I want you to be very careful this week because there's a lot of things going to happen because Joe Biden has definitely thrown back the problem of the inflation now back to Putin, Federal Reserve, or even the, what they call, some of the companies, in fact, unfortunately. Okay, all right, let me just clear my screen a little bit. Okay, here we go. All right. So the thing is this, guys, let me ask you guys now, there's 44 of you right now this morning, okay? Okay, do you think that the Dow Jones is heading towards the 563 level. Do you think the Dow is heading towards there? If you think it is, all right, key 29,563. Okay, if you think that it's going to head towards there itself, right, key 29,563. If you think that it's not going to go there itself, then key another number. If you're telling me that maybe the Dow is going to recover all the way back to above 35,000, you can just key that. No problem at all. I'm fine with that. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? All right. Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it's going to really happen? Wow, there's quite a few of you guys. We have Susan, Han Yu, Alex, Anthony, Christopher. Can you saw anybody? Okay, hold on here. Elise, Jerry, Ian, Daniel, Northstar, okay, and myself. Okay. Now, if you can remember, that there is Evans have a different view. Eva says that it'll be up first, then down. Okay, cool. All right, different view, yeah. Now the thing is this, I remember not too long ago, I remember I did tell you guys that when it was trading about 33,000, and I was saying that it will go down to a certain level, okay, and that level, if I'm not wrong, I'll just confirm myself just in case I miss out. Okay, at the time when I was talking about the Dow, yes, correct. I was saying that it will go down to 31,411 back then, and again, I was asking you guys, and some of you think that nope, it will not go first. Okay, wow. Or Eva says that you go to 31,800 first. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Eva, if you're going to go to 31,800, so I think a lot of people don't be happy for that. Okay, anyway, doesn't matter. Everybody is entitled to their own views. So all the thing is this, okay, anybody has their own rights in their own view, yeah? The unfortunate part is that the market seemingly is still on the way going down because inflation has hit the all-time high for the last 40 years, okay? That means that 8.6%, that is pretty high. So we will look at this later on as we talk about today's sharing, okay? All right. So trading apply as usual, please make sure that you do your risk management. End of the day is this, even you're in the right position, you must always set SWL, show-in level, just to protect your profits. You never know, all right? As things may happen, who knows, the market may rebound and then come back down again. So you always must employ this SWL concept, okay? Nothing is 100%. Everything is good for the market, okay? All right. So the thing is this, to start off this morning as a joke, okay, as a morning joke, okay, let me just give me a moment. I just realized my PowerPoint's not updated. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, now the Kraken is in, correct now, the Kraken, okay. So you know that there's this mystical creature in the world that is like the Kraken, okay. Apparently it's all right, if you actually do a Google search recently, this particular animal, or this particular beast, okay, it's actually sprouting images across Google search. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Now, this has been there for the 17th century, and after that, it disappeared for a while. In the 18th century, it popped up again and disappeared. Okay, but interestingly, the recently is right on Google search or Google Map. This particular creature seemingly is sprouting images around the world. Interesting. But of course, this inflation creature that we're talking about now is basically going to drown many investors, traders, professionals. All right. So that is the reason why, in my opinion, it's all right, be very careful, because now we're just probably breathing above the water, but things can get very scary as time goes by. So of course, this is a very nice internet joke that I found from a friend. Okay, I like this. He said, you said no more inflation. Okay, right. That was what this Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen, Joe Biden have been saying. All right, and of course, this can show the lady is crying. Obviously, this is a monologue, right? It's not real. Okay, just that you will just replace words. But I like this. I said no, comma, more inflation. What a twist. What a twist. All right, so this is how it works again. This is what the boys are doing exactly, because in fact itself, right, Joe Biden now is saying that, hey, I told you got inflation, just say because it's Putin and blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, what a twist, okay? So that's why there's this thing called all possible knowledge, okay? What you know is probably about 1/8 of your time, okay, 1/8. That what you don't know, probably about 2/8 factor. Yeah, got the idea now? Okay. What you don't know, you don't know. That is a powerful one. What you don't know, what you don't know, you don't know. What you don't know, you don't know. That's a bit twisted here. But to me, it's how it makes a lot of sense. Okay. So a lot of time in the world, we do know something, but because of whatever is around us, we try to, put it away. And after that, what happened? You had to regret for that. So rather than you regret, why don't you just make a stand in the position of yourself and then follow through? End of the day, as long as your risk management is involved, your stop loss is involved, I don't think there's a problem as a trader. Okay, I feel that way too. So that's the reason why I think that more and more people start to understand that we can use the same concept that we long stocks to do short selling. It's the same concept. You don't need to short with a very tight stop loss, because end of the day is this: if long you can have a very fast stop loss, then why short you can have why stop loss? Now, of course, you may say, but Cal, why stop loss may kill? True, but if the risk management have been involved, that means that you know how much you will lose potentially divided by the entry to stop loss, then you're protected. You got my point? And of course, the thing is this: we are shorting the market because now the market is in a downtrend. Now, if the market is on an uptrend and you're shorting stock itself, right, you're asking for trouble. But when the market is downtrend and you're shorting stocks, it makes a lot of sense. Don't you agree with that? All right. So if you agree, we'll just say the last 2 minutes. Can you press number 1 right now? If you only agree with what I just said, the last 2 minutes, press number 1 right now. When I have a short coffee break. Okay. Is it? It's okay. Right. That's good. Okay. I see that most of you all can understand that. Very good. Let's continue. So what happened was last night at about 9:30 p.m. Okay. I spent 4 hours preparing the PowerPoint presentation. And at 9:30 p.m., I spoke to 104 people. And after that itself, right, I got another Zoom session where I spoke to another about 15 of them regarding about my views on the market. Okay, more in-depth stuff. But you can see that everybody understand where I'm coming from, and I shared that likelihood we're going to see the market going down further below 31,411, and the number that I gave was 29,563. So of course, it's like some people saying, Cal, why so accurate, why so exact? Because this is a technical number. So this number is what we are going to focus on later today, okay? All right, so the thing is this: last week, on 9th of June, last week, the fear and greed index was at this 32. And I was telling you guys, 33 is usually the first base whereby the market will likely have some resistance. So that was what I shared with you, 33, okay? And I even show you that the line that I drawn for you based on the common points across the board since last year, October. So 33, so was the first form of resistance. Now, if the market, the fear and greed index can go past 33, that means that the bullishness in the market has probably come back in again, and you can actually go back to the long side. But if the market stay below 33, then we will have some selling. And truth be told itself, on Friday, the Dow Jones collapsed 880 points. And of course, the index, the fear and greed index dropped from 33 back to 28. So again, spot on the number. So even fear and greed index itself, right, we can do a spot on this. That's pretty good, right? So you can do me a favor, just put there spot on fear and greed index. Okay, that is something new here itself. But definitely you can see that we have talked about it, and it seems that it actually happened. Okay, so now the thing is this: if you recall back, okay. Now let me bring back this chart to you now. Okay, the latest one. Okay, the update. Yeah. Okay, let me bring you back a little bit now with some numbers to take note. Yeah, you can see that I don't really focus on one individual place. I actually do a bit of jumping around. Okay, if you remember, the time itself when the Dow Jones was down, okay, the fear and greed index went to 6. Agree? Okay. Then after that, what happened? The market recovered. So that is understandable, right? Okay. So the thing is this: the high here itself is about 33. Okay, now we are 25 right now. Okay, let's do a simple, just a crazy mathematics here. Okay, so the Dow Jones lost 880 points. Okay, divided by how many? 33 minus 25. Of course, it's a crazy way of calculating, but just for the fun of it. Okay, 33 minus 25, you get about 8, right? 8, right? So that means that you get a number of one fear and greed point is approximately 110 points of the Dow Jones. You got an idea now? Okay. So let's do a little guessing game here. Okay. So with that understanding now, if now is 25, and we expect it to go back down to 6 again. So that means that the downside is how many? It will be 19, right? 19. Okay. 19, yeah? Okay. So now 19 is the number of fear and greed point. We take whatever we have here itself, 19 multiplied by 110. What number do you get? Can someone tell me? All right. Can someone tell me if I take 19 multiplied by 110, what number do I get? Please key your answer right now. So once again, you can see that my way of doing things is very unorthodox. Okay, very different, very unique. But end of the day, my job is just to share with you how I see the market from a very different perspective. Now, I'm not those traditional conventional indicator trader because I've done that before and it doesn't really work for me. Now, I do not want to say that other technique work or don't work. Because everybody is entitled to their own views, okay? So some people are very good with RSI, some people are very good at MACD, some are very good with this Bollinger Bands. So they are good with their own forte, so I will not go there because I'm not good with that. So I have my own very interesting way of reading the chart, and apparently it seems to be quite in line with it. All right, so the number you get is 2090, right? Oh, brilliant. Okay, 2090. Okay. Okay, so my view is this. Okay, the Dow Jones last week. Okay, the Dow Jones last week. Okay, let's bring the chart in right now. Okay, the Dow Jones last week closed. Dow Jones. Okay, not here. Okay, never mind. Key in. Okay, here we go. Okay, the Dow Jones closed at 31,392. Okay, that is last Friday's closing. So with 31,392, if we do minus 2090, if we take this figure right now, everybody, if we'll do this crazy way of calculation, just crazy, yeah, that's crazy enough. Okay, we take this figure now, 31,392 minus 2090. Can you tell me what's the final figure? Put it in. That means take 31,392 minus 2090. What number do you get on your screen? All right. If you have an answer, please key in. Now, I'm going to do it because I have no idea what am I talking about right now, because it's just something that's come to my mind now, and that's what I want to share with you. Now, end of the day is this. I just want to share with you. Okay, Anthony has count the number. Okay, Anthony, you're always so good. Okay, how come got 3 different numbers? Okay, there should be only one number, guys. Andrew, I think you're off by a little bit, yeah? Okay, the final number is 29,302. Understand? Yeah, correct enough. Yeah, correct. 31392 minus 2090. You get 29302. Okay. Now, of course, that means that if the market really drops down, watch out for this number, 29302. Okay. All right. I'm gonna write down big for you for today. 29302. Okay. What we did was we take this number and this number, we just minus them together to get back this figure. Okay, 29302. Okay. All right. So again, that means that mathematically speaking, if the fear and greed index is to really bundle over and come down, there is a possibility that the Dow Jones will come down to 29,302. And of course, when that happened itself, right, do remember what we went through. We saw that the market rebounded strongly after that. We remember that the market actually rebounded strongly after that, okay? So remember what happened was that the index itself actually came down all the way to this point here at 6, sorry. And after that, the market rebounded at 2,000 points. So this one is a very critical thinking too. So think about it, okay? Just remember what I said today, okay? So this is something very, very important as a idea for you. Oh, sorry. Okay, so now this week is going to have something very crucial. This is a very big week, guys, very big one. Now, first of all, today, nothing much. Today, we have the PPI, the Producer Price Index. So we all know that the CPI data is pretty high, right? So the forecast for the PPI can't be any lower. Now, if the number is 1.0, oh gosh, that means that the inflation is hitting everybody across the board. So take a look at this. Of course, this is my personal expectation. I'm definitely short in the market, so I don't mind a higher number. But I think that very honestly, you can see the prices all going up. Really, you can imagine that itself, okay? Then, of course, on Wednesday, we have the core retail sale. And this number is very scary because I expect the number to be lower than 0.8. Because as you know, that as prices goes up, but the US dollar is increasing in value, but the inflation itself is going faster. So even though the dollar has increased its value, but the inflation is going much faster. So what happened is that right now, the buying power of the consumers are getting lesser. So in fact, it's all right. We have Denmark, UK, all of them, they are all telling you that they're going to reduce their what they call unnecessary, non-essential stuff. So which means that, right, luxury products like, those like luxury bags and stuff, cars and automobiles and all these things, it will likely come down in prices. And so the companies that are involved in all these, right, will be hit. Second thing is the second area will be hit is casino. Casino will be hit because they won't be gambling because they now have no money to eat. Who will gamble? Unless it's because people now want to gamble so that they go to get more money. I don't think I buy that, right? So no one will really do that. So that means that the three areas that I think will be hit very badly is recreational, casinos, all right, and luxury products. So these three areas will be hit very badly if this continue to go higher. You got my point, right? So you remember this a few days ago, right? Some of the casino stock went up, and I told you guys to be very careful. And truth be told, on Friday, they all came down. So this is how we go into thinking. You don't need to be an expert in economics to know this, but you can just roughly think that what will likely be following next. Okay, then of course we have the crude oil inventories again, and we're looking at a lower number. Interesting. Now, what is crazy and very important is Thursday morning. Okay, that means the Thursday itself, after 12 midnight, that is at 2 a.m. we have the FOMC statement. Of course, we know that the rate decision is up by 50 basis points. Now, the thing is this, to be up by 50 basis points is absolutely okay. But there's something that I want to share you. I think I put it in another PowerPoint slide. Give me a moment. Let me drag it out for you. Okay, this is going to be bad because I didn't do I didn't arrange this. I'll try to do it again on a side note. Okay, but let's give me a moment. Yeah, where's my mouse? Just give me a moment, yeah. Okay, I just show it to you in a very insightful way. Okay, let's bring it in right here. I forgot about this to do it a PowerPoint for you guys, but never mind. Okay, now this is something that I watched this morning at 6 a.m. This morning, 6 a.m., whereby there's this particular professor. Now, very rare I listen to professor because they usually get very boring. Okay, but the thing is this particular professor is right, caught my attention. Okay, I'm so sorry to do this because I haven't had time to arrange this. Let me first of all get his name for you first. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is Mr. Professor Steve Professor Steve Hank. All right, he's on Johns Hopkins University. We all know that Johns Hopkins is a very, very, one of the respected university for economics. And this professor, when he was talking, it's all right. I really like it because the way he was sharing his content, it really, wow, it really put all the guys on CNBC dumbfolded. Yeah, because he was just basically lambasting Federal Reserve. He was just saying that Federal Reserve is going to get hit very badly. They know that they're in trouble and they may not have the tools to repair it. So this guy was very upfront, very, very upfront. And in fact, it's all right. He actually said that there is a 65% chance of recession, which obviously is a big word that people don't dare to say it online. So he's saying that right there. And of course, you can see all the commenters are like, oh, okay, slow down, all right, and stuff like that. And he said this. This was very scary. He said this, okay? He said that, right, the Federal Reserve will panic and overreact to inflation surge, pushing us into recession. Wow, that was a very powerful statement, and he was very fierce. Look at his face. Okay, so usually I don't really watch, but this is like, wow, it caught my attention. And quickly, I screenshot this for you. I'll try to arrange it once again for you guys. So apology on that, but just to make my statement here itself, and I didn't make it up. Okay, this is real stuff. Okay, so this is where the thing comes in. Now, I don't think there will be a 75 basis point. Now, the market is speculating as usual. They always speculate. That's better to push the fear down the throat, yeah? I don't think there'll be a 75 basis point this time because Jerome Powell won't do that. Now, we must understand Jerome Powell very well. He won't do things that he have already said, but he will add on stuff later, which means what he said. He will say this, it will still be 50 basis point because he already said 75 basis point is not on the table in the last meeting. So he not because of one CPI data, they will increase it immediately like that. It's not the way. And of course, if they do a 75 basis point immediately, let's say on this coming Thursday, I tell you the stock market will crash immediately. So I don't think so. But he will likely say this, then that means that the continuation of interest rate hike will continue. So September, 50 basis point, and even potentially another 50 basis point in October. So this is what likely he will say versus what the market is actually trying to speculate, okay? So anyway, take note of that. It will be all the way under 230 when they go to the press conference, and usually that is the point where the market actually will react even much more volatile, yeah? So this week is going to be a very crucial week. Traders, please take note of that. And of course, the initial jobless claim is expecting to be slower, but I don't think so. It should be higher. And the Philadelphia manufacturing index is now right. It's supposed to be good, yeah, because the summer period is supposed to be okay. But very interesting, on the Friday at 8:45 p.m. Singapore time, Jerome Powell will speak again. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so take note of that. It's going to be a crazy week, yeah. All right, it's going to be a crazy week this week itself. So take note of that as a trader. Yes, indeed, Keng Hua, another 50 basis point. That's how I see it. I don't think they can do it any more than that. But because again, the professor saying that it could be more than that. So I'll leave it there. All right, Kai, good to see you. Well, all the way from Germany. Good stuff. Okay, so you can see what I'm trying to say now. The PPI data. All right, so take note of that. Yeah, the last one was 0.5. You can see. Okay, this one was 1.5. We're now 0.5. I think this has to go up again. Okay. All right, so that's my personal view. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go away from the scientific approach to something a little bit. I don't think it's. I still think it's scientific, but just that it doesn't have any direct confirmation. Relevance there is, but not direct confirmation of what may happen soon. Okay, so this part itself, some of you may not like it. Okay, I'm going to share this regardless. Okay, here we go. Now the thing is this: someone sent me this in the morning. Okay, it's a student, and she was telling me that on the June the 16th there will be this 7-planet alignment. Okay, and it's on the June 16th, which is like 3 days from today. Hey, wait a minute. June 16th. Let's go back again. June 16th. Yes, June 16th itself at night, there will be the core retail sales. But the problem is this: June 16th itself is in US Singapore market. So June 16th is theoretically itself, right? If you're talking about US timing, then that will be here. That will be Thursday. Isn't that correct? Okay. So, oh dear. Why June 16, right? You may say, hey, come on, man, trying to be funny here yourself. June 16 is a FOMC. I understand. And that is where the planet actually align. Okay. So of course, I'm not trying to go against scientific approach, but of course, when I see this as well, right, I usually will do one thing. I'll always Google and search. So when I do a Google and search, I saw this only from Washington Post. Hey, wait a minute. So what I Google is that I put there 7 planets alignment, and I don't get any research, any search on this. The nearest I got was this from Washington Post, which is good. And 5 planets align in the night sky for the first time in 18 years. Okay, but you must understand that this was actually from June the 7th. So that means that the 5 planets have already technically aligned. So to me, at that point itself, I think that maybe this is just a one-off. Okay, it's just a one-off. And I think that maybe the source may not be proper. Yeah, because a lot of time you do see sources itself, right? They will just amplify it, or they may just tweak a little bit just to sell and get the eyeball, right? But when I actually dig it through Chinese character, means that rather than I write 7 planet alignment, right, I put it in Chinese instead, 七星连珠, right? on Google, different thing come out already. Now it shows that from the Shanghai Observer that there is really the 7-star planet alignment, and the date is actually concur. It's actually June the 16th to June the 19th. And of course, again, there is this added on information. 古人眼中的不祥之兆. It means that from the past, all right, that this actually is not a very good, not very auspicious, yeah. So again, but then again, but you added on 无科学依据, but it's not basically based on science. So science doesn't concur it. So this one, just listen and understand. But of course, back in the olden days itself, right? Whenever you see this so-called 7-star alignment, usually something spectacular happened to the dynasty or the empire or the kingdom, you know, all these things. Okay. So anyway, that's for the fun of it. Okay. So just that the date just basically aroused my attention, and that's why I'm sharing you here today. Okay, so don't get too involved. If you want to read more of this detail, you must write in Chinese character. Then you can actually see more detail, because I don't think the Western side, they actually believe in this. Okay. All right. So just to show you how does it work itself, right? This is how it will go. By 16, a star will move together, and then you'll form that particular so-called planetary what they call alignment. Okay. Again, like I say, it doesn't mean anything, but of course in science itself, maybe they will cause some solar what they call radioactivity and stuff like that. Okay, I'll leave it there. Okay, all right. Okay, so now, of course, the thing is this: on Friday, we saw something much crazier than it is. All right, on Friday, we saw the market really coming down. It was on the moment it opened the gate, pam, it came down 600 points already. Now, at about 2 a.m., as usual, there was some recovery, but to the last half an hour or so, the selling continued and resumed. So that again caused a bit of concern right now. Okay. So what happened is the Dow Jones dived 800 points. S&P posted the worst week since January after hitting inflation at the 40-year high. Okay, so basically faster than expected rise in prices and consumer sentiment hit a record low. There's two things at the same time. Consumer sentiment obviously will be low, because when you are going to pay more money, who like it? Example, if I say this thing costs about $10 and I tell you and I sell you for $15, you're going to get pissed off. If I sell you for $20, you're going to be very mad with me, correct? But that is my point. Inflation itself is like that. You can choose, for example, like recently the chicken rice price is like $5 right now. You can choose not to have chicken rice for your meal. Say, okay, live with it. But the thing is after some time, it's right, the crave for chicken rice will still be there. Example. So what can you do? You have to just open your wallet and pay for it. Of course, you can deny it, but it's going to be $5. You don't like it, it's going to be $5. And let me ask a very straightforward question, okay? When's the last time have you seen chicken rice prices go up and really retracted? Now, only once in a while when there's promotion, like $1 chicken rice, $2 chicken rice, yeah, promotion for a short moment, then it goes back again. So to me, it's all right. In the near term, I cannot see how the chicken rice price will come down. So like it or not, either you make more money or you just skip chicken rice altogether, okay? So with that, there's something very concerning factor is that the declining stock on the New York Stock Exchange itself outpaced advance by 5:1. Now, this is a very high number. The last time I see this was like 3:1. To have 5:1 is a very, very dangerous, what they call one-sided view. So of course, again, for the opportunists, they may think that this is a good time to buy. But I would like you to be more careful. You can buy short-term gain if, let's say, you think it's oversold. But you must understand this as well, right? Just imagine this. I shared it before to you. When we go to the cinema, everybody will be very nice, very prim and proper. They'll walk through the doors and then get their seats, okay? Because everybody is relaxed. But if let's say now this is a cinema full of people, and then there's only one exit, right? As what it came in the one entry earlier. But once there's a fire in one corner of it itself, right? Then you will understand what happened, right? There will be a sudden mad rush towards the door. And of course, what will happen at the door is that everybody will be squeezing each other to want to go out. But what will happen is there will be a bottleneck. And when the bottleneck happens, things get very, very, very good, very scary, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: remember, when the market is nice and cordial, it's easy to follow. But once it flips the other way around, right, and you're going to try to, try to do a sneak attack, just be fast and nimble, because you don't want to be caught. Because Apple lost 3.9%, Microsoft and Dow Inc. lost 4.5 to 6.1%, and Salesforce, Amazon all down by almost 5% and beyond. So what does it tell you? It's a generic selling. Everything is just selling off. So I understand that a lot of forums that I'm actually following, yes, I follow forums, they are all looking at the market to go up. But I cannot understand what's their logic behind it, because the fundamental isn't there. That's a problem. And of course, if this continue, the what they call the guidance will be even worse. So we know that, right, the Dow Jones has fell 4.58%. It's 10 down week in 11. Now the S&P also had that same thing. And do you know that S&P 500 now is actually at the number of down week, okay, has reached the same level as what happened in 1929, back to the time of depression. This is very scary because we are now at 30 over 1,000. Then itself was less than how many? 2,000. Okay. So I kind of thinking that, right, what's happening here? So I repeat, now you can buy. I won't stop you from buying. I just want to tell you this. You look carefully last week itself, every time the market goes up, right, it's a sharp recovery. Then after that, it consolidated and then the selling comes in. So again, a sharp recovery, consolidated, peeling off. Again, sharp recovery, consolidation, and sell down. Can you see my point? So you will always see this. In a bear market, you will always see sharp Vs. You remember that? In a bear market, you have sharp Vs. But it's going to be a sharp Vs, then after that consolidate and then go down. After that sharp V again, consolidate and then go down. That is how a bear market works. Now, in a bull market, it's different. A bull market is, it go up very slowly, gradually, then ding dong, then gradually go up. You see that? That's how it works. So in a bull market and a bear market, difference is here. So you must understand where you are right now or individually in the counter. All right, I have not seen any counter that's in a bull market territory right now. So I believe that something is not, it will get worse. Okay, it get worse, yeah? Okay, so that's my personal sharing. But again, everybody reserve their own rights and our own reasoning. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me just take something here as well. Okay, all right, so let's continue. Thank you very much for the emoticons. Okay, at least I get some people liking me, and then I can see some live here as well. Pretty cool. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, someone have just, hey, okay, wait a minute, what's this? Okay, someone asked me a question and say, Kel, how come that, for whatever we're doing, how come you like not as many people as other schools that, have lots of messages or people attending the session? Well, very simple, because most people are bull traders. They prefer to buy. So that's why when recently we'll be calling for sell, right? We're not going to be the favorite, definitely for sure. And of course, undeniable, all right? People don't like it. Yeah, but don't worry. Very soon we become bull, and of course, everybody like us again. So it's okay. All right. Wow, 105 people. That's not a bad record for today, this morning. Thank you very much. Okay, let's continue. All right, so the traders are now preparing for a more aggressive Federal Reserve because of the 2-year Treasury yields. Now, do note that the 2-year Treasuries has hit 3%. Now, wait a minute, 3%, isn't it higher than the 10-year yield? Exactly. So what does it mean? Inversion. Wow, yes, there's inversion right now. Yes, indeed. Because 2 years is faster than the 10-year, that means that people are more worried than last time. So that's the reason why straight away it's inversion. Wait a minute, how come the market don't talk about it? Exactly my point, the market don't talk about it. So what does it mean again? So it is telling you that things will get very bad soon, okay? So I'll come to this later. And of course, share of Netflix continue to drop after Goldman Sachs just downgraded it. Okay, fine. Goldman Sachs recently have upgraded a few counters, right? And those counters got hit on Friday. So I was question mark, this upgrade and downgrade, what does it mean actually? So the thing is this, bank and cyclical stock also went lower, right? Reflecting recession risk. Now, Wells Fargo down by 6%, Goldman Sachs down by 5%, and Boeing down by 5%. Now, let me explain this again. Now, 2 weeks ago, some of you were asking me, Kel, if let's say that the interest rate is going up itself, right? Then why is the banks are not performing? Now, let me explain this again in a bank point. Now, bank, yes, indeed, if they loan people money and the interest is high, the bank do benefit. But the problem is 3. Number 1, would the bank want to lend somebody now who know that the chance of defaulting is there because of the current situation now? That's the first thing. Number 2, the bank itself, right, when they are they want to lend it to people itself, right, the interest might be good, but again, the problem is that in between itself, right, they're going to have more people banking the money back to the bank. So again, the money that they lend versus the money that they have taken in, it may be a problem. And that's the reason why the reverse repo operation increased so crazily, because the banks got so much money now, they don't know what to do. Three, there's no other place to diversify the funds. You must understand the banks make money other than credit facility. They usually take the money to diversify. But the problem is there's no other places for diversification. So because of that, then the banks have a problem, because if the banks cannot diversify the money, then what happens next? The bank will have to pay the interest, on nothing. So that's the reason why the bank shares itself, right? In a bull market, when the interest rate is going up and a bull market condition, the bank will benefit. But in a bear market territory or potential recession, the bank will not benefit. So you must understand the situation. Then you just basically taking certain part of it and then say, oh, how come it's like this right now? You must understand the situation. You understand my point? To make it simple to you, is that when your spouse is in a happy mood itself, to get a favor from your spouse is easier. But if your spouse is having a bad mood now, to ask the same favor, it will not be that simple. It's the same thing. So that's the reason why people must understand this. Very important. Wow, 113 people online today. Wow, that's something new. I don't have 113 people online at the same time. That is something outstanding. Can I give you a moment for myself to just take a picture of this? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, just for the fun of it. Oh, okay. Hey, what happened? Why my screen becomes so dark? Okay. Okay, continue. All right. Oops, okay. So now let's just have some local and global news right now and see what can we learn from it. Now today, the local and global news got quite a fair bit of information, yeah? So you need to bear with me because I need to go through this, because these are all the very important news for you to take note, okay? Of course, if you want to take a little break now, go ahead, okay? Now, do understand this, Singapore has went back to so-called, in a way, back to this pre-COVID time. And you can see that now we're going to have more relaxed COVID curbs, right, including night sports, migrant workers and stuff like that. But do you know that we are still at a very high number, with about 3,000 people, 3,000 to 3,500 people getting sick every single day. In fact, it's all right, more and more of my friends who are around me are getting sick, students too. Now, they are all fully vaccinated with, I think, 2 jabs to 3 jabs, right? But they're still getting sick. So you can understand that this virus itself is still there. But the fortunate part is that it's only like 1 or 2 days and they recover. So that's a good part. But unfortunately, we have a problem back in China, because China don't really use the vaccine that we are using right now. So now Shanghai is forced to do again certain lockdown in certain districts. Now it's not a full lockdown. Do understand this? It's not a full lockdown. It's basically out of 16 districts itself, right? 14 were locked down in a way to do the tests. So that's why people are still moving around in China. Shanghai, sorry. And it's just only for a while, and they do it for a weekend. So it's just because of some flare up and some numbers. So China is trying to make city cap their so-called zero COVID policy. So only if, let's say, later on, right, when there's really a real lockdown, then I think you get some sort of mainstream media. Because when I asked my wife, right, she said that no one talked about it in Shanghai. No one talked about it. So maybe it's just a testing drive. But of course, the media play it very differently. But of course, what is more important now is US dropping COVID testing requirement for international travelers. Okay, that's cool, man. So what happened again? It seems that US is very confident about the COVID drive. So that is the thing here. So what we have is that Singapore is also doing that in a way. Then US is confirmed doing that. So China is getting hit. So I just ask myself, okay, maybe I say because of the vaccines, maybe the Western side itself will be able to get out of this earlier. But China is still the biggest supply exporter, right? So if they don't recover, then what will happen next? And basically, we'll have problem, right? Okay, and of course, and hopefully it's all right. The COVID cases doesn't go out anymore, because if US does this by reopening all this itself, then it's opening to itself to a lot of other potential problems. But again, all this aside itself, right? What is interesting is 6th of June, we have this thing itself about Donald Trump. And very interestingly, Donald Trump is being called in once again to talk to the committee. All right. Well, this is trivia, but interesting is that when you actually go through the plot and stuff like that, you can find that, right, Joe Biden really want to win. Yeah. Okay. Now, ExxonMobil hits all-time high this week. And I told you to buy ExxonMobil. I've been telling you guys, buy ExxonMobil. All right. ExxonMobil is up. And because it's up right now, Biden is not very happy with that. He says that start investing. He actually jabs ExxonMobil for the high fuel cost inflation speech. He's telling them, please take your money now and go invest and lower down the costing so that the cost will be better. Okay, why don't you tell them what Exxon profits were this quarter? Biden advised a reporter, Exxon made more money than God this year. Oh my God. Okay, so that is really, really Joe Biden. Yeah, okay, fine. But my point is this, you're still going to stop here, my friends. Now we're not even at a record high yet. We're $116 right now. We're not even near the high at all. So I cannot imagine if, let's say, the price goes even higher, then what will Joe Biden have to say? And of course, crazy enough, Russia has managed to cut their key interest rate back to pre-war level. Now, they increased interest rate back then to prevent the slide of the Russian ruble. But now they cut it back. That means that they are back to normal. So the question is this, I kind of believe that I don't know whether this war is killed Russia or helped Russia. I cannot see it though. I just have this very, very pang feeling. I've been telling you guys, this whole thing itself to me, it's a sham, really. I mean, it doesn't make sense. A country being hit with sanctions and craziness, but yet the country is recovering faster than it is. It doesn't make sense at all. Okay, well, the country that's making a lot of noise outside itself is the one suffering. Okay. And Tesla decided to file for 3-for-1. Now, it was supposed to be 20-for-1, but now become 3-for-1. And of course, again, the detail shows that things are going to move again. Now, the board member, Larry Ellison, all right, decided not to stand for re-election. Okay, there's something there, probably feeling a little bit negative over here. But again, the stock price itself, right, shows something different. So we will see how it goes. The last time when this happened, the stock price went up a lot to 1,000 plus. So the market is expecting that. But you must understand, in the bear market itself, right, it will be noted as dilution. So again, this is a different thing, up to you to see from there. Okay, now inflation 8.6%. I think you heard this enough. I'm going to skip this. All right, and of course, definitely with a strong inflation, anxious consumer will continue. That one, I'll also skip that too. And of course, the 2-year Treasury yields, I went to 3%. I'll also talk about that. I'll skip this too. And of course, what is going to happen is what Jerome Powell will speak by this Thursday, and it's going to be very important. And of course, Jim Cramer now is going to talk about it again and say there's no stopping former darling from recovering. And he also said that, right, we should avoid bogus tech companies, typical Jim Cramer. And of course, Europe is not going to get it well. Now, later on, when Europe open DAX, especially, there should be some selling. Okay, so take note of that. There should be some selling coming in. Because now some economists are actually predicting a 75 basis point, which I don't think so. So I'm not going to talk about it. And last but not least, Santoli, the senior correspondent, says that the May inflation is a problem. And obviously now they are speculating what will happen to June inflation. So it's very simple, guys. We had to look at the chart as simple as it is. Look at the chart and we will know exactly what to look out for. So I'm going to bring it to you right now. A moment. Okay, here we go. So you can see from the crude oil chart right now, okay, we just do a simple understanding here. Okay. Okay, so you see, we're gonna just put a simple alignment for you. Okay, simple one that I always do. Okay, so now we are month of June, right? So it's the month of May, all right? So the month of May starts here, okay, and it will end, wait, this is 2nd of May, okay, and it will end here, right? June, right. Okay. All right, so you can see very simple. Okay, just one more. Let's make it fair. Okay, and yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so let us understand this very simple. Okay, take a look. Okay, so you must understand that during the March period, okay, to April period, you can see that the inflation came down all the way, so the crude price came down. So that's the reason why in May data come out, right? The data shows that because it came down from the top, that's why the April period is better than the March period. Can you understand? So because of that, that's why in May, when the data came out, it is better. That's why the market thinks that inflation has hit a peak. You got it? So now the thing is this, today we are in the month of June, right? We need to use the data for the month of May. And obviously, month of May is went up. The low end itself is about 96. The high end itself is about 118. So we do amalgamation, definitely is somewhere around this area. So which means that by right, this area here, the common area, the amalgamated area, is definitely higher than this period here. Can you see that? So without a doubt itself, right, it's no need to be an expert here. You will know that the inflation figure will be higher. So now the thing is this, okay? Now where are we looking at is whether or not June number will be higher than June higher than May. So when it comes to the next CPI data over in July, then we'll see whether does this stay. Now, of course, if the market stays above the 110, it will still be higher. But if crazy enough, if the price goes even higher, let's say it go to 130 or 140, because of whatever reason, oh my God, then the July comes in itself, right? The June data will be even higher than the May data, and the market will go into insanity rife, okay? So do you understand what I've just said? It's not too difficult to do this. You just have to be very objective towards this whole thing itself. If you understand what I just said, press number 2 right now. If you understand what I just said, press number 2 right now. All right, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Understood. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Kai, for saying that it's the best show. Really appreciate that. Also love for you. Okay. Now, some people actually text me on the weekend also ask me, Cal, but if the crude oil price keep on going higher, right, what will happen actually? I mean, it's just simple put. Like I said before, you may not drive, okay, but all your food stuff come with logistics, which means that they must deliver to you, right? Whether from plane or from the sea or from the land. So all these costs will be embedded into your product costs. You got my point? So that means that your salmon is going to be more expensive, your chicken will be more expensive, and so forth. Even your wheat, your maize, your corn will be more expensive. So all these will play its part, and it's a repercussion because it will be added on. Okay? So now you understand why it's all right. You do not want the oil price to go higher. Okay, so the thing is this, traditionally, the good thing is that traditionally there will be, at this point now, at the mid of June, usually the market will pull back. Now I told you 121 is a very critical level, and now it seems that it's showing that 121 really is a critical level, holding the resistance. But if any time the 121 bursts past, then I'm so sorry, the next target itself is 128. And of course, 128 will definitely rock the stock market again. Okay, so 121 is a very critical resistance, which means that you guys need to understand. And I told you not to buy last 2 days, and hopefully you've done that. Let it pull back down and we observe again. Okay, we observe this again and see how it goes. Okay, don't be too hurried to jump in the gun. Okay, because there could be some pullback along the way. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is all the news I got for you. Let's go something the alternate market news right now. Okay, so again, do you think the bear is in the market right now? Well, I think we are almost there. We are almost there. Let's look at it from a chart view. Okay, from a chart point. Okay, chart point. Yeah. Okay, so what you have on the screen right now in the chart point, okay, let me bring it in for you. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, so this is what it's having right now, whether the bear is in. This is the all-time high, okay, all-time high. This is a 95%, 90%, 85%, and the 80%. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this, okay? The last time when the market came down to the 85%, it did went lower to around this area and rebounded pretty strongly, right? So undeniable, we should have this point as a guidance. This is a very important technical point that all traders must leave, take note. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna change my colors to make it simple. Okay, so this level here is on my AIMS platform is at 31,000. Wait a minute, 30,638. Okay, write it down for you. 30,638. Okay, I'm gonna make it perfect for you guys on here. Well, we're 114 people online right now. That's cool. Okay. All right. So what I'm trying to say is this. Now, if you remember that in the bear market, there's this thing called where you have the bull trap. Now, whether or not, right, could this be a bull trap, right? This one to this point is a bull trap, right? Will all depend on this point here right now. That means that if this is going to be a bull trap, once the market breaks here itself, hell will break loose, and you technically you enter the word fear already. That means that we enter the fear factor here itself. Okay, fear factor. So let me just bring it to you what I shared yesterday moment. Yeah, let me just bring it in. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to go jumping around, but I need just to share some stuff with you. There we go. Okay, can you see this chart right now? Okay, so you can see that now, right? We should be somewhere around here at this point. We should be somewhere around here. We are not at the fear yet. We are now slightly above the so-called potential bull trap. Okay, only if the market really goes below the low of the recent one, which is what you saw earlier, then yes, we will enter a bull trap. And after the bull trap over or go below it, the next one will be fear. Then we may have the capitulation and then all the thing here. Now, I don't think this time around we will see capitulation. I don't think so. Not this round. I believe that we can see fear. It means that you see people getting pissed, getting upset now, or retailer couldn't take it anymore. They get very stressed out. Yeah, we go near that. But I don't think we go capitulation, at least from what I see from the market right now. Now, you must understand there's few things why I want to say this, because there are a lot of funds at the moment now, right, parking alongside the road. Right, remember, reverse repo operation now got $2 trillion on the side with Federal Reserve. These are money parked with Federal Reserve because they want to be careful with the money and they don't want to spend it anywhere else. So they park with Federal Reserve to get a very nominal 0.08 interest rate per day. So you understand my point? So there's $2 trillion waiting to bounce into the market as the first thing. Number two, now, in fact, I think it's, if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley, they also have a lot of money parked in cash. They rather don't utilize it and cost them money every day because they are just waiting for the right time, RIPE, to go in the market. So that's why I say that once we enter the fear factor, whereby a lot of things happen where people, the retailer are dumping and funds are cutting losses, and there's a lot of what they call redemption on the ETFs, then that is where the funds, the smart money will come in. That's the reason why I don't think we will see capitulation. Of course, some counters on its own will see that, but not in general. Got my point? So that is the reason why I'm not that bearish as compared, okay, over here. So as a trader, I'm just informing you that I think that we will more likely able to see this. What the market will do is that it will break here because that is all the stop loss, right? The stop loss will be triggered, that's for sure. Okay, and when that happens itself, right, likely the market may drop at a very alarming speed down to this level, which we are all waiting for, which is 29,000, okay, 563 level, okay. But once we reach there itself, right, if you look at my diagram over here, remember I showed this before to you, I'll show you that again. I actually has this, what do you call, where I get this point. Okay, I use the weekly chart, yeah, to do it on. Where did I get this line from? Oh dear, I forgot. Oh, I think it's okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'll just redraw this. I think it went bogus. Okay, anyway, All right, so what I'm trying to say is, if you look at it again, apology, okay, you can see that, right? If you're going to come down, likelihood it will just drop all the way down to this point here, and that is where it hit the 80% mark and it may rebound. Okay, so I'm just sharing with you that what I see may be happening with all the current situation right now. Okay, so watch out for 2 p.m. later on when the DAX reopen, because DAX will be the one that will probably give us a very strong insight information. Because if you look at DAX on its own, to show it to you, okay, you can see now on the DAX chart itself, you can see that recently the selling has been very strong, and DAX chart itself, right? If you look at it, okay, which I didn't show you much recently, you can see that it did come from the highest point, drop all the way to the 80% mark, and strongly rebounded back to the 90% mark. So now, if for it to come back down to the 80% mark again, right, it's not too difficult, yeah. So if the DAX is going to go down to 80% mark, pretty clear that, right, the Dow Jones will go down and follow through. Okay, the Dow will likely follow through. Yeah, watch out for that. And of course, as you know, the Nasdaq is already now way below the 80% mark, and it's going to go to the last recent low here itself. So that's a very dangerous thing, because that means that again, a lot of bulls are trapped, especially including Cathy Wood. And the last one is S&P 500. As you can see now, S&P 500 is just marginally away from the recent low back in this 3809. But based on the BMB expectation, we should see the S&P dropping down further to this point, and that's 3668 level. Now, 3668 level is a very important S&P point, because that is where Morgan Stanley, Michael Wilson is also looking at around that area. So I believe that the S&P 500 will most likely be going to that level. All right. Now, recently, some people have been speculating, telling me that, Kel, but the put option in the market is pretty heavy. How come the market is going down? You're wrong. Actually, the put call option is all right. The number of people that are buying puts and calls is actually still pretty okay. It's not at a very high level, like, overwhelmed like 1.6, 1.8. In fact, still 1.3. Let me show it to you live right now, and you will see my point here. And you can see that actually covers a lot of angle on this. Now you can see now over here, the put and call ratio now is at 1.36, 1.31, 1.51, and 2.75. Now it's only on Thursday, which is the FOMC meeting, then the put call ratio is much, much higher. So as a trader itself, right, if you wait for that day to short the market, right, it's going to be very dangerous. If you want to do anything now, it should be now, because that is before that. You don't do it when it happened. And you can see almost instantly the next week itself, right, they expect some pullback after the FOMC meeting. So what will likely be happening is that the market will likely sell towards the FOMC meeting and then rebound after the FOMC meeting, or at least base out. You got my point? This is a very important thing to understand. It's just like football games. So you need to know the odds. Why are they shifting? Why are they shifting and stuff like that? So these are very important information that I want to share with you, and hopefully you like this. And of course, jumping the gun everywhere a little bit is this little chart that I've been showing you guys about the Bitcoin, right? So I've been telling you Bitcoin, the next level it will be going, it could be as low as 26,000. We have been traded already, and then the next level can be as low as 21,000. And of course, if Bitcoin is going to go down, what will happen will be this. Okay, if you do a Google search right now on this micro strategy, I said again, micro strategy. Okay. Something wrong with my screen. Cannot type anything here. Okay, just a minute. I think to do something like this. Once in a while, we have this crank area. Okay, here we go. Micro strategy, Bitcoin holdings. All right. Now you must understand that this is a bit of a worry now, because it says that, right, you know, it shows that, right, by fortune.com says that if, let's say, Michael Saylor, if his cryptocurrency dropped to 21,000, then there will be a margin call. So I don't think that the margin call will kick in, but I believe that there's a very good chance that the market may purposely drive the price down to that area to create that margin call problem. And of course, if that happens itself, right, companies that's holding Bitcoin will be in serious trouble. So US companies holding Bitcoin, right? If you do that search itself, you can actually see this. All right, the number one company that's holding a lot of Bitcoin is definitely this MicroStrategy, and then after that is Tesla, Galaxy, and then Square. Oh gosh, these companies itself, right, all will likely be having some problem. And of course, if this is continue, okay, the list goes on. We have other Coinbase, and we have Riots, and Meitu. All these companies will get hit also at the same time. All right. So that's why I say the next target is that it could be cryptocurrency, because that is going to hit the market. Okay. So now you can understand why when I talk about this Joe Biden, right, his SPR is a failure, because you can see after he had dumped the crude oil just price keep on going higher. Of course, every single day he's still dumping 1 million barrels into the market. So the question is when it's going to replace his reserve. That's the first question. And of course, Putin invasion was here. So that means that his dumping didn't help at all. Now, very scary is that the 2-year yield, right? The 2-year yield is now at 3%. Now, why is that about this problem? You must understand that right now, Barclays rates strategist Jonathan Miller wrote in and says that now he is getting ahead of the curve. He expects, from Barclays point of view, a 75 basis point hike in June's meeting. I think this is crazy. I don't think really Jerome Powell will do that. But of course, coming from Barclays itself, again, I leave it there. Okay, I leave it there. I'm not with Barclays and not near there itself. I'm going to keep myself quiet on this. But this is what he wrote, yeah, his very own word. He disagreed. He thinks that the US Central Bank now has a good reason to surprise the market by hiking more aggressively than expected in June. Now, this is direct word from Barclays, from this guy. Yeah? We realize that it's a close call and it could be played out either June or July. So we play a bit of, like, you know, it's either June or July. Instead of telling you it's confirmed June, okay? But we are changing our forecast to 75 basis point on June 15, okay? We also lifted our forecast for the terminal rate by 55 basis point to 3.3 to 3.25. Okay, so anyway, what I'm trying to say is this: they were looking at 50 basis point, but now they are changing and it could be really a 75 basis point. Okay, so okay, so what do you think? Right, how many of you think that he will be actually correct, or just only for eyeball rating? Right, how many think that could be a 50 basis point, or how many is 75 basis point? If you think that this coming June will be a 75 basis point, please keep 75 right now. If you think that this coming FOMC meeting will be a 75 basis point, key it right now. Okay, so let me explain to you what will happen. If really Federal Reserve really stun the whole world with 75 basis point, okay, the market will go in a root shock initially. Then after that, we'll see how Jerome Powell will say about what he want to do. But if let's say Jerome Powell is a very steadfast fact and say that, you know what, we're doing this because we want to curb inflation, the market may come in to buy because of this is what the market didn't expect, and the market root shock, right? Then after that, it becomes cheap prices, and then the market, the funds will come in and buy. You understand my point? He may do this just to hold the market. Rather than the market speculate what will happen in this September, he might as well do it. But the chance of that happen itself is near zero. Okay, all right, it's near zero. So I don't think so. Yes, indeed, banks cannot be trusted. I thought we trust the banks. Okay, anyway, continue. Okay, sorry, yeah, hold on. PowerPoint didn't update. Hold on. Okay, so now you must understand the current situation here that we are having right now. You can see that, right, the current CPI data is really at a high level. This is including energy, yeah? Including energy, yeah? Okay. So now the Fed fund rate now is actually at the 1% level. So look at it. We are 9% here versus 1% here. Even with a strike it in the middle, it must be at least 5%. Right? You have to be good. The Fed fund rate have to hit 5% to at least, have a pullback, because we can see that, all right, the inflation and the Fed fund rate, usually they go in tandem. That means that how it go and how it move is always in tandem. But now we are so far away. Oh my God, it's ridiculous, okay? So all I can say is this. The last time when the inflation was shooting to 14, back in the Paul Volcker time, you can see that, can you bring the chart a bit higher that you see it better? Yeah, Juana. Okay, now it's better, right? Okay, so clear the screen a little bit. Okay, so again, let me explain this again. Now you must understand, during the Paul Volcker time, where Paul Volcker hit the interest rate all the way past 14%, all right, you must understand that it actually, because of the inflation was going up so fast, so that you keep on japping the Fed fund rate up. Only when it happened itself, there we have it stop. And then after that, you have your inflation going down dramatically. Okay, all right, so that was what happened in the Paul Volcker time. So now what we have is almost the same stop, okay, stop movement as we saw back then. So that's the reason why the market believed that Jerome Powell may really have to do a rethink, same thing again. But we already hear from Jerome Powell, he won't do that. And you must understand this. It's a bit of pride and ego here. If he do that itself, right, they'll compare him with Paul Volcker. But he already said he doesn't want to be a Paul Volcker. So that is a problem here. So likely he will take the position of telling you there will be more rate hikes than not, versus an immediate 75 basis point. Yes, Liu, indeed, this Biden is going to visit Saudi himself. And I think this time around, going to add pressure to want OPEC to open up the tap. So billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller, the one that basically a sidekick of this George Soros after Jim Rogers, says that, right, he predicts a recession to come in 2023. Now, very simple understanding here. So remember, I told you, right, the 2-year yields, the inversion, remember? All right, so you can see that the 2-year yields inverted, right? Because now it's higher than the 10-year yield. So when it happened itself, right, usually the recession will come in about 6 months later. So today is June, right? So we not too difficult to understand this. Usually recession will happen in 6 months to 9 months later, right, after the inversion. So you think about it itself, right? That means by December or January next year, you will have your recession. True, but there's a very interesting twist here itself. Write it down somewhere. I'm going to tell you this, okay? Now before that, as well, let me just show to you that they have inverted, okay? Because of that, the 5-year, the 10 years, and the 5 years and the 3 years. And of course, just to let you know, the 3S, 30S, meaning a spread between the 5-year yield and 30 years yield, yeah? And now it has now put in the 10 years low. Okay, so let's understand this. Okay, so earlier I told you, right, if let's say the yield curve inverted, all right, although the economy says 18 months, but we all know that usually a faster one is 6 months. Okay, so now we talk about this. Let's say by January, we will have a, what do you call a recession by economic level. But the stock market usually will move ahead of a recession. Do you understand the point? That means that when the recession really kicks in, the stock market will have already reacted before that. And the statistics have shown usually it will be about 3 to 4 months, the market will bottom out. Then 3 to 4 months later, the recession so-called really comes in. Okay, so everybody now, if you understand what I just said the last 3 minutes, all right, if let's say we do this, if January 2023 is going to be a recession, okay, it's going to be a recession, and normally stock market will bottom out 4 months before the start of recession. Where would you think the market bottom will be? When do you think the market bottom will be? All right, this year. Think about this right now. Key the answer, everybody. That means that, right, we are trying to predict now, if let's say recession is on a cut in January 2023, and usually stock market is like 4 months ahead of time, which means the market will react by selling down first, then likely, when will the market be bottoming out? Okay, All right, so I get to see a bit of numbers here. So September from Michael, Anthony, August, Liu, September, Fred said August, September, Daniel, August, Jerry, August, Leslie, August, Vincent, August, Karine, August, okay, Santa Claus Rally, Ivy, September Rally, okay, late August, yeah. All right, so I think you got the idea now, right, guys? You see, we don't only call for sell, we will tell you buying. So now you understand where am I coming from. That means that, right, if things really goes according to plan, we may actually know when the market may bottom. And of course, when that bottom is up, it will likely be a point of whereby no one wants to buy stocks, right? Yes, again. So you see, guys, we are always a bit ahead of time. When we call for sell in January, no one believed in it. Okay, then March, the market sell off. Then after in April itself, we tell you that the market will likely be coming down again. Again, no one believe it, and then we have to sell off again. So now we already know that roughly when will be the market bottoming. So you should understand what will likely be happening from this June, then what happened in July, then after that from July to September. So what I'm trying to say is this, that it's a good chance the market may bottom out a little bit in June. Then after that, the market may recover in July. Then after that, we may see something terrible may happen in August. And then the market has enough of the selling, the market say give up, and that is where likelihood the market may recover. So yes, my position and stand is that we may see the market bottoming out around late August to September period, okay? So we may see that, okay? So I'm saying that, right, likely we will see the stock market selling until late, see the market, okay, bottom is here, bottoming around late August and okay, some selling in August. Okay, you got my point. So I'm just explaining to you what I see that may be happening, right, as in ahead of time. And of course, if we do that properly, we may be able to get this done better. Yep. Okay. All right. So that's why you can see across the board now, there is no reply. No one mentioned about the inverse yield because everybody is just talking about, okay, we have yield, but then this is, when I do a Google search, right, the latest one is just March. They didn't talk about on Friday. So last Friday was pretty obvious, but they did not talk about it. So I think as usual, when they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to talk about it, okay? So very interesting way of how the media runs, okay? When they want to talk about it themselves, they'll tell you. When they don't want to talk about it, they just leave it alone, okay? Clear, huh? Now, why am I talking about the buy side now at this point? Because FYI, during the January-February period this year, I tell you, right, the PE ratio is too high, and based on the position that we had back in 1999 with the same high level, that's the reason why I've been focusing on the sell. And of course, after we sold down, we call for sell, the market really came down. Where are we now? That's good. We're actually near the average forward PE ratio. That means that we are near a pretty decent price to buy. Not the best price. It's just that it's a good price. Okay, example again. Now this thing costs, I say, $10. At the high itself, it was $25. It was overbought, right? So we call for sell, it bring back down. Now this thing is actually dropped back to about $12. It's a good price because it was $10 when it's $25. So at $12, it's a good price. But it's not the best price, right? Because in fact itself, prior to the shoot up, right, it went down to as low as $6. You understand? So we will want to buy it at $6, if not $7. So to me, at this point right now, we're at $12. We can squeeze the market to buy it at $6 or even cheaper. So when will that be again? That will be what I just said to you, right? And write down for you. Okay, late August 2022 or mid-September 2022. Okay, to do bottom buying. Now, during this bottom buying, right, this stage itself, right, there will be a lot of people calling for sell. Just remember that there will be a lot of people calling for sell, and that's exactly what they want because that's how the funds will move around. So take note of that. There will be a lot of people calling for sell. Yeah, take note of that. Yeah. So there's something that I want to let you know first because this always happen like that. Okay. All right. So like this sharing. If you like this sharing, it's all right. Can you keep the LIKE like this sharing? All right? If you like it as well, can you key the word LIKE for me so that, at least I feel nice about it before we go to the charts, okay? All right, once again, as a trader, my job is to just show you the market from a different perspective. Your job is to trade according to plan. So of course, not every time we have the best of it. Sometimes I can be totally off, I'm just a human being. All right, but of course, if we actually prepare ourselves before that, I think that will play its part, right? Yeah, indeed. So just take note of that. I'm just trying my best to assist you in every way, everyone I can, okay? All right, so take note of that. Thank you very much, Brian, Ivy, Kai, Jerry, Peng Meng, Han Yu, Stars North. Okay. All right, Vincent. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Amira. Okay, Sean Michael. Okay, Louis, Fred, Eva. Oh, thank you very much for the likes. And Anthony and Susan Tan. Okay, thank you, Lionel. Thank you, King Hua. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that once again. Okay, let's go to the charts now. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grrr, and the lemming goal is different this time. Okay, let's go as usual. 10 minutes for that. Okay, so we have a problem. Okay, China stock market itself this morning gapped down because of the what happened in Shanghai. You can see that very clearly. The stock market closed rather high, but it was heavily resisted at this point, which I told you before. Very heavily resisted now at 14,058. Okay. Now some people say, "Kel, you have this uncanny way to find this sort of common points." I say, "Yeah, I do have," but actually, it's not uncanny because I actually teach this. I actually teach this during the PTP. So all the students will know that this how I get this level was from this particular candle. This is called the KSL, the Cal support special line. From this KSL, I forward it. I will know that this is the resistance. I will know this is a resistance. I know it's a resistance. So it's not because that I happen to see that I draw it and then it's my experience. No, this level that I draw right now is actually something that I teach in PTP, Professional Trading Program. So as long as you learn it, you will know how to draw it. Correct now. So is there any PTP student here itself? Now, if you are a PTP student, Professional Trader Program student, and you know that why I draw this particular KSL line, can you type PTP? I repeat. All right, PTP students, if you are around and you went through PTP and you remember how do I do my KSL, and you know that what I draw there is genuine, is really from what you learn, can you type the word PTP? So that means that you are validating that, right, what I say is true. That means that I did not draw it through experience. It's something that I teach. It's called KSL, and you can see on the screen that is exactly where you're supposed to draw. Okay? All right. So while you're typing there itself, right, what's next? Okay, then we have a problem here. You notice that this blue line is a support line that we drawn many moons ago. And of course, when it basically crosses it itself, right, we know that you'll go higher, which really happened. So the question now is that you notice that the moving average now, the MA30 and the blue line is coming together. Okay, so it becomes a stack, right? So what will happen is this: if let's say there will be more selling to come later today, then the market will be drawn down towards these two lines. That means that there is a chance for Shanghai, China A50 to drop back to 13,491 again. There's a chance that this will happen again. Oh, thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Cheng Kui, Crystal, and there's Vincent. Yeah, that means you guys are PTP trained and y'all remember Nansin too, about how we draw this KSL. See? Proven by itself. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Okay. So I believe that there will be pullback. I believe that there will be pullback. Whether it's resistance, whether it's because the China issue now, I believe there'll be a pullback, yeah, ahead of the FOMC meeting. Okay, this one is kind of confirmed. So that will likely affect Hang Seng. Hang Seng will likely be drawn to the selling later on. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the US market first to begin with. Okay. Now the US market this morning, we need to cover a few points. Watch out for this. Now the market definitely today there will be some selling already. We know that. Now how do we know that? Because the KSI is red in color. It's uptick, right? The KSI is uptick, right? So what happened is that there will be selling today, and truth be told, it has happened this morning. But there's a very critical level here, and that's 31,088. That's a pivot 2. Now we all learned that as long as the market stays above pivot 2, we're still okay. But if the market loses pivot 2 with CCYR, there will be some selling. And of course, there's a very, very heavy support around this area from 30,698 to 30,918. Okay, write it down for you. Yeah, a very strong range of support there. Okay, write it down for you. KCB's 30,918, 30,784, and 3698. Okay. All right, we have a range of KCBs. That means a range of support over there itself. So unless the market breaches below all the way, especially if it breaches below this particular figure, 30,698, then the selling will really kick in heavier. If not, it's all right. There should be some support around this area because you can see the KCBs are all everywhere. Okay, but I say for long term, it's all right. I still think that the Dow will go down to 29,563. So think about that. Now I'm going to do a quick one on the 15-minute chart to just show it to you how it works. Okay, so now what we see on our screen right now is that the market is trying to stay above the pivot 2 level with a CCRY. Okay, that's fine. But then now everybody take a look. This is where it started. Okay. Now, when it broke below the pivot 2, you can see very clear that's a straight selling off. You can see that how the power of pivot 2 actually manifested. Yeah. Okay. So now the thing is this: we're now at yellow, right? CCY means you need a yellow bar, and later on, if there's going to be a red and it goes below pivot 2, then yes, there will be some selling. Only when you see the R coming in. If the R is not there, then you cannot do any selling at this point right now. Okay. Very, very important. Yeah. Okay, got an idea? Good. Okay, so let's now look at the market again for the rest. The NASDAQ is already down. KSI is green, it's uptick green. KSI is red and it's uptick red. So there will be selling. So most likely the NASDAQ is going to come down and it's going to go down to this pivot 2 level at 11,442. That means that you will go below the previous cycle low. There's a good chance of that happening. Yeah, watch out for this. It's a good chance. Now, why do I say that? Because of this. Let me just bring for you. I forgot to show you earlier. Moment. If you look back again on the 10-year yield, which I've been telling you guys to be very careful. Remember, I show you this chart, right? I told you that there will be a very strong support in the 10-year yield at 2.7%. And truth be told, the market really did that. You can see multiple dojis there that already tell you that there will be a big movement coming in. And of course, the market have just breached past the recent high. So likelihood, it will go higher than my expectation. It will be likely going for 3.3. So this is going to pressure the NASDAQ further. Okay, you're going to press the NASDAQ further. Now, of course, if this figure really goes to what we just said, 5%, I really cannot imagine how bad the damage will be on NASDAQ itself. So that's the reason why, to me, let's just focus on now and just make as much money as we move here itself. And of course, at the same time, you also notice that the dollar is moving up very strongly. Again, it's supported on the moving average I mentioned to you, and it doubled again, and that's why you're having this. So with the interest rate coming in and hiking in, definitely the dollar will strengthen. Now, the dollar strengthen, what will happen? This is where the critical part comes in. Now, if the dollar strengthens and the interest rate is going to be going up itself, right? But because the stock market in US is still pretty well in advance from the last lows, so there's a lot of room and buffer for it to pull back. But a lot of other countries, their stock market now itself, right, is near the mid-range. So if the US dollar keep on going higher, that means the remaining currency will be hit. One of them is the Japanese yen. Now, the dollar yen itself is having a bit of problem because now the dollar yen is high. It is initially good for the stock market, but it got a little bit too high right now and become a problem because that means the Japanese are losing as much as 10% of their buying power in the last 10 days. You see, that means that about 10 days ago, it was at 126, right? Now it's 135. So that means they just lost 10% of their buying power. This is not going to go well. Now, for import-export, yes, it's good for exporters, but it's not going to be good too long. So at 135 has reached the level what I call the point that the market shouldn't be going there. Yet the market has just went past 135 and there's no sign of pulling back, at least for now. So this is where it gets scary. If the dollar continue to press higher, the dollar yen will start to go even higher, and this will actually crack the yen itself. And if things get crazy, we may see a 1997, whereby the Thai baht also went in this crazy level. It is very, very potential, okay? And of course, Japan economy is nowhere near any better. So that's where everybody is watching it very closely. So I believe BOJ, Bank of Japan, will come in to do something very, very soon. But even they do it, right, we all know that it's going to be just only intermittent. Because if the US dollar is going to strengthen, still it will go higher. So unless the BOJ expectation is to bring it much higher to basically pull down inflation, but it's going to be tough because you're actually, lowering your buying power. So not too sure, is that a strategy they're looking for so that they can make people buy lesser? I don't know, okay? So watch out for this. The NASDAQ likely will go down lower. And of course, we also have the S&P 500. The S&P 500 now has bottomed out a little bit at the 38, 33 level. In fact, just now it's already hit 38, 32. That is the KCB here at 38, 33. So there is some support being done. You can see on the 15-minute chart, it will be clearer for you to take a look. Okay, let's take a look over here on the 15-minute chart. You can see very beautifully our indicator is perfecto in a way. It really came off from the opening price, came down, touches a pivot too, and bang, it came down. It stopped here nicely at KTR -3 perfectly and then rebounded. So again, you can see all these are drawn by the system. We did not draw it ourselves. The KCB 38.33 and our KTR -3 happen to be the same number. You can see that on the screen. So that's the reason why the market hit that level at 38.33, rebounded on its own. Very incredible, right? All these are all mathematically calculated numbers. It's not something that we created or we draw it on our own. Everything is just by itself. That is why it's how crazy is this system all about. Okay, so with that S&P 500, we look at the Hang Seng. Now the Hang Seng, as you can see, we are getting nearer and nearer towards this figure in. Now Hang Seng, there's a BMB extension at 20,867. Now, would there be a chance for this happening? Well, it is possible. If the Dow Jones drop below 31,000 again, there's a very good chance the Hang Seng may be forced down towards this 20,867. The only thing that's holding the fort right now is the KSI, is green in color, as uptick, right? That's why you can see the Hang Seng refuse to budge. So we do see that the China A50 is coming down, right? But because the Hong Kong market KSI is green, you can see it's kind of trying to recover. Every time the market goes down, right, the market actually recover. So that's why I keep on reminding traders who are online with us, remember this, when the market itself is a KSI green, you can sell, but you must be nimble because usually the market will rebound. You see that the market will always rebound. But of course, later on, I suspect you'll drop down to KTR -1 again to what 21,121. This is my personal take, yeah, later on after the lunch reopens. Okay, all right, so continue on this and cover more stuff. Example, this is the Nikkei. Now Nikkei has already started to come down, right? Why? Because of the NASDAQ is coming down, the Dow is coming down, but more important thing is that the yen itself is killing them. So my point is that a very good chance the Nikkei is going to drop down further to 26,659. Now KSI has turned to red in color and it's uptick red, right? So usually the selling will bring it down further, and I do suspect it down because you can see the MLP, the moving averages are all down already. So this is a very nice movement here because of the yen. But what goes up will come down, and likely it'll come back down again to this area. So watch out for Nikkei. There will be some selling soon. DAX. Now DAX is horrendous. You see DAX itself, when it go up, right, took out 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 days for it to go up, right? 3 days. 3 days is all you need to take away. So that means that the market was pumped up to sell. So that means that later on, I'm pretty sure we'll see some selling on the DAX. Likelihood we will see this coming down again. Now we have the KSI confirming it's a KSI rate uptick, so there's some selling. So I believe DAX is going to come down further to 13,333. That's a very nice number though. Okay, not meant to, not on purpose, but just I happen to draw it there. It's there. Okay, so the DAX closed at 13,777. So to drop down itself, you need to drop by 444. Okay, you got to quote the number there. Okay, so watch out for DAX. Crude oil. Now, I already tell you, don't buy crude oil. I reminded you, don't chase. Okay, most of you didn't do that, but some still did. That's where the headache comes in as usual. Okay, now do understand this. As I said to you, we expected the crude oil to go higher. Yes. that I told you 121 triggered, it has to come down first. It's coming down, right? Now the thing is this, the KSI is still green in color, so still good. But I suspect that the crude oil will be forced down by Biden and friends to 114 figure. I think around 114, then the base will be there. And then after that, we will go to the 124. Okay, this is how I feel it, if you ask me. So don't chase. Okay, now if let's say if the crude oil really goes up because of whatever reason, then watch out for this figure. That's 11863. Now 11863 is the level to watch. BMB is 11863. That means that BMB RL, yeah. Now that means that this figure is the level to watch only if the market really go back again. So that's 11649. So some of you say, can I just buy now and just aim for it? You can buy now if you want to, but I'm just telling you the market may be pressed down. Now don't forget, Joe Biden really cannot allow inflation go there, right? So he will do a lot of things to pressure the price down. So not how surprised as what Liu have said, right? Biden's going to fly to this Saudi, right? Most of it going to pressure further and twist the arms of some people and bring the oil price down. So I'm not half surprised. So when the oil price come down, it's all right. Inflation pressure may be lifted off away, but it's still at a high level. And of course, ExxonMobil, Shell, BP, and Occidental Petroleum, all these companies will go down, right? That will pressure back again in the index. So no matter how it is, there will be pressure downwards again. So watch out for this. Only when it crosses 11863, then we can look at it at 124. Okay, please remember that, yeah? And now we're going to gold. Now, gold price really stunned me last week because I thought that the gold price will be coming down. But of course, the gold price went up. Why? Because a lot of people was expecting that the CPI data will be very bad. So they actually shorted the gold. So yes, the gold really came down because that means that the dollar is strengthening. But what happened is that you can see the consolidated area is huge over this for the gold. So when I see this itself, right, I ask myself a question. If let's say this is the highest point of gold recently and the lowest point is somewhere around here as a form of guidance, so what we have in terms of the range is will be about $37. Okay, $37. Okay, so I feel that the upside itself, okay, plus $37, you get 1868 plus 37, you get about 1905 level. You got my point? Yeah, 1905. Of course, the downside itself, minus 37, we will get about 1794. Okay. The thing is this. What do you think? Right. Now, to me, for gold price, why it went up on Friday, please listen. Because there could be a bear squeeze. Because everybody was shorting the market, which the market did came down. But you can see very dramatically, even though the stronger dollar and the high yield push back the gold up, it doesn't make sense. Fundamentally, it doesn't make sense. So the only way to explain this is only this. First of all, it's either that it's just a short squeeze and then the gold price will plunge back down again based on what fundamental it should behave, or someone knows something before the FOMC meeting that they are now buying a lot of gold because there's a fear going on. That means that, right, somehow someone knows that the stock market might be coming down very dramatically and they're buying gold in anticipation. Or the easy one to understand is because there's nothing to buy now, buying gold. So to me, it's all right. The last one is a bit hard to accept, but the numbers don't lie. We have a bit of KSI green and no blue bars. Okay, of course we have KSI red at the moment now, but it's not into consideration. So what do you think, guys? 1905 or 1794? What do you think, everybody? If you're still around with me, 104 of you right now, where do you think the gold price will go in the next 2 weeks? 1905 or 1794? Please key your answer right now. I want to feel you guys and let me know what you think about the oil and the gold prices. Now, I say again, the last Friday, the upside was really doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't make any sense. So why is it happening? I really don't know. Of course, I went through it. It could be a short squeeze, I say it again. So where the market decide. But to me, the fundamental doesn't make sense. So the only understand is that it's a short squeeze, or that means someone knows something very, they know something that we don't know, and they are all expecting it to happen. Okay. So the camp is pretty split. Some of you are saying 1905. Some of you are saying at 1794. So I don't know. To me, it's all right. The easier way out is this. It's very clear now. The current price, opening price of today is 1874. The pivot one is 1835. So as long as the market stays below OP, it's not a classic trade. I just leave it alone. is a neutral zone, right? But if the gold price really shoot up again past the opening price, then I'm very confident to tell you that we could see 1905 very soon. Now 1926 is the BMB high. That one we'll talk about this as it draws nearer. Okay. All right, so of course we have silver, we have gold, we have to do silver, all right? So silver is also doing the ding dong, but it's not as crazy as gold. You can see that silver is actually moving pretty sideways and hovering around $21.66. So same thing once again, if silver push up itself, right, the upside could be $22.74. But I say again, at the moment now, the fundamental doesn't make sense, and the KSI is red in color and got blue bar, so silver may not be moving up in the near term. Yeah, I don't think so. Now, last two is Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I told you about Bitcoin to be very, very, very careful. And it's happening right now because I told you guys the next thing they'll attack will be the cryptocurrency space. So back then when the crypto was going up over here, I warned you guys that likely if things goes wrong, the Bitcoin will sell, and it really came down. So if you remember this, do me a favor, they put the word BTC spot on, because I was very adamant. I'll tell you right, the next thing that the market will go after will be cryptocurrency, because that is where the money is. There's billions of dollars there. So since there's this lunar problem itself, and they do a lunar 2.0 and it also fail in a way, the market has lost faith and confidence. And of course, there's the winter period for this crypto now, ahead of the halving. So all these tells me that, right, the likelihood that the Bitcoin is going to go down. And I already tell you, my personal view for Bitcoin is still the same. I believe that Bitcoin is going to come down quite a fair bit. So you look at it now, everybody, Bitcoin should be coming down. There's a very big gap here at about this point here, about 24,000 to here, 22,000 and over there. So there is a chance that the Bitcoin can come down all the way to 23,000 to begin with, okay? Now, 23,000 is first level. If the market goes even crazier, you can see 21,000, okay? So that is my view. Now, of course, if that happens, definitely we have this potential margin call on this Michael Sayer, which is the for MicroStrategy. And of course, market love to create margin calls, okay? They really love that. All right, so take note of that. That will be for Bitcoin. And last but not least, we have the Ethereum. And Ethereum is also coming down. I already tell people don't buy Ethereum. I know that Ethereum is a utility coin, but utility token, but you cannot buy now because utility or not, there's no people doing it. And this is the thing that's crazy because the next level the market can go is 1294, and that is the TWB level based on here. So the thing is this, the lower bandwidth can go down all the way to this support here. And that was the last time it started when 1050. So yes, indeed, 1050 could be the Ethereum next level. I know by saying this, some are going to be very pissed off with me, but I must say what is true and what is fact. So if let's say this Bitcoin really goes down to 21,000 or 23,000, then of course Ethereum to go down to 1050 is possible. So low, if you're listening to me, please be careful, don't buy yet, okay? If you really want to squeeze the Ethereum, like go down to below 1,000 level, then you buy. At least it's like 3,000 at the high. You buy below 1,000. At least you feel much better, and long term it's better. Okay. All right. I think I saw some selling in the Dow Jones right now. I'm gonna just squeeze it back to the Dow Jones before we end this session today. Again, today's a long session. I know that because I just want to give you the best of it for today, and I want you to make money from the market, and hopefully you do that. Okay, let's take a look right now, guys. Okay, everybody, this is where the problem is. Okay, I told you there will be some resistance at KTR -1. It's already happening because you can see that the BMB was there already. The BMB was there. Okay, so now it's a CCYR and it's below pivot 2 and it is below OP. So that means that there's a chance that the market might be coming down soon. Okay. All right, that will be all for today. Thank you very much for this 1 hour and 45 minutes of this MAO. It's not easy to talk for so long. I know it's not even easier to listen to me for so long, but you can do it at the back of the avoid doing. I just wish you all the best, and hopefully by Wednesday itself, right, things get better for all of us. And I'll see you again. See you then, guys. Wednesday on MAO. This is Cal signing off. Bye bye.